Site, and I just want to check who you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? Who are you, please?
Oh, I'm just me.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Not
that the
really.
BT tower?
I need to know why you're here.
Oh, I'm just reading.
How did you get in?
Oh, I just walked up the footpath.
Okay.
The gates are open.
I don't think they are.
Oh, I think they are.
shouldn't
I've
be.
recorded it.
Okay. Have you got any identification on you, please?
I might do. Let me see. I've got an ID.
Yeah, can I have a look at that, please?
Yeah, of course. Is this the right one? Yeah, that one.
Please, police, please.
But if you just hang fire here a second.
Am I being
Sarge.
detained?
You're not at the moment, no.
Oh, so I'm going to carry on if that's okay. You're free to follow me, but it's an ID. It's not my ID.
Right, let's have a look. Can you tell me who you are, please?
Do I have to?
Yeah, you're on police property.
Oh, it's okay. I'll leave then.
The contradiction becomes obvious almost immediately. The officer states that absolute audits is not detained. That acknowledgement carries legal weight. If someone is not detained, they are free to disengage. Yet the moment he attempts to act on that freedom, officers follow and continue pressing for identification. That shift blurs the line between voluntary engagement and implied restraint. Without a declared detention or a clearly articulated offense, there is no lawful footing to compel continued interaction. Following someone while persisting in demands for details risks creating a de facto detention without formally stating one. The earlier confirmation of freedom makes that tension even sharper. The idea that merely standing on police property automatically creates an obligation to identify oneself also lacks a clear statutory basis. There is no general power that activates simply because a person is present near a police building. Powers must be grounded in specific legislation and supported by objective criteria. What begins to emerge instead is an attempt to maintain control of the situation after conceding there is no authority to prevent departure. When engagement continues despite acknowledging the absence of detention, it highlights the gap between asserted control and actual legal power.
Thank you.
I need to know who you are because
You don't
might
need to.
pose a threat to us.
Why are you standing next to me with no body armour on then?
Can I just ask you to stand still for me?
Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
Yeah, I'm detaining you.
Under...
Terrorism Act.
Oh, 43. Fantastic.
Yeah, is that all right?
43?
Because I don't know who you are. You're not telling me who you are.
I don't have to.
You're dressed up very suspiciously.
It's cold.
And you are on police premises.
Yeah, but the gate's open.
I don't believe you. And even if the gate is open, you shouldn't be gaining access and you shouldn't be here.
But it's publicly accessible, I thought.
No, it's not.
Well, the gate's open.
And I'm being quite reasonable. I'm asking you for your name. I'm asking you for some ID.
Yeah, but I don't have to give it to you.
And you're refusing to do that.
No, but I don't have to give it to you.
So you're
I
now
don't
going
think-
to remain with me until some other police officers come and assist me.
Well, I've offered to leave.
I'm just saying it's private property. Okay, you're not entitled to film me. And I do not want my identity to be put online. Is that understood?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
It's not on you, look. It's pointing at the
No,
cars.
I know, but just make sure you're aware you're on private property.
But can you just tell me who you are, though?
Not at the moment, no.
The reasoning begins to unravel with the suggestion that he might be a threat. That raises an immediate contradiction. If officers truly believed there was an imminent danger, the response would typically involve distance, containment, or clear tactical positioning, not casually approaching and remaining within arm's reach. The conduct doesn't align with the level of risk being described. The justification then shifts to detention under terrorism legislation, based largely on his clothing and the fact he's on police premises. But suspicion under counter-terror powers is not meant to rest on vague impressions or general unease. It requires specific, objective factors that reasonably connect a person's behavior to potential terrorist activity. Attire alone, or mere proximity to a building, does not automatically satisfy that threshold. There's also tension in the claim that the area isn't publicly accessible. If the gate is open and members of the public can walk in freely, it weakens the assertion that the space is clearly restricted. In law, accessibility and clear communication of boundaries matter. When the physical reality doesn't match the stated restriction, the basis for detention becomes harder to justify.
No, but you're giving me
Because
a,
I'm on private property.
but you're giving me a request.
I'm not requesting, I'm just saying I do not want my identity
Yeah.
to be put online.
But if you tell me you're a police officer, I'll say, yeah, okay. But if you're just like a normal person,
You still haven't got the right to film me on private property.
yeah, I'm not filming you.
Can you confirm that you're not filming anybody here on?
No, it's pointing down. Yeah, look, see, it's pointing at the floor. I'm not filming anyone.
That also goes for any vehicle registration numbers.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't film those. Are you a police officer?
I am a police officer.
Okay, can I take your shoulder number?
At the moment, I'm not working today. I've only put this on because it's wet.
Yeah, but you have identified it, so I just would...
My first name, okay, one private property. I'm trying to be polite.
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying, if I wanted to contact you, what would I search?
A member of the public,
Yeah.
okay, was planning a mass shooting,
Right.
a mass murder on this site.
Oh, right.
Okay, that person's since been sent to prison
When was that?
recently.
No, I've not heard about it. Was it in the news?
I'm not being argumentative, but if you're a journalist,
Yeah.
okay, you should be up on this sort of stuff. Okay, it resulted in that person being shot
Hmm.
because they shot themselves and police officers.
Yeah,
Okay, they were planning to come on the site with guns.
yeah.
Okay, you're on site now with a balaclava on, hiding your
Yeah.
identity. Can you not understand why we're a little bit edgy, a little bit jumpy?
I could...
Another officer attempts to reframe the issue around privacy, suggesting that his identity and even a vehicle registration should not appear online because the location is private property. That argument struggles when the details in question are already plainly visible to anyone physically present. Police vehicles operate in public view, and registration plates are designed to be displayed openly. Filming what can be seen with the naked eye from a lawful vantage point doesn't automatically transform into a privacy breach. At the same time, the officer declines to provide his shoulder number while actively participating in the interaction. That position is difficult to reconcile. If he genuinely considers himself off duty or uninvolved, the logical step would be to disengage entirely. Remaining involved while withholding identification creates tension between accountability and authority. The explanation then shifts toward referencing a recent security scare and drawing a connection to absolute audits based largely on attire, specifically the wearing of a balaclava. That leap stretches suspicion beyond observable conduct. Clothing alone does not constitute an offense, nor does it inherently establish intent. When contextual fear is used to fill gaps in present facts, it risks turning precaution into presumption rather than grounding action in demonstrable behavior.
So if I came in your back garden then, after somebody threatened to shoot you...
Yeah, but this isn't your back garden. This is it's a public
No,
building.
it's not. It's private property.
It is, it's a public
It's
building,
private
though.
property.
There's a reception, the gate's
It's
open.
private property. Okay? At the end of the day, this is private property.
It is, so
if you left your back gate open, your back garden, and I walked in,
it
okay.
would be publicly accessible. It would be trespass.
it'd be trespass.
Once I asked you to leave and you didn't.
Private.
Nobody's asked me to leave yet.
No, because we want to make sure that you're not a threat.
Yeah,
Okay, we
sure.
want to make sure that you are not planning an attack.
Okay.
Because by putting those vehicles online and by putting our faces online,
Hmm.
you could potentially jeopardise that
Yeah.
and stop people being prosecuted.
Okay, so I would come back to that and say, one, I wasn't doing that. I was doing my report and just filming around. And my other point, which is a bit more argumentative, is you've walked up to the camera. So had I not been cooperative, I might have started, some people might have stuck it in your face and gone, no, I'm filming you.
Okay.
But I've gone, okay, fair enough.
You shouldn't be filming on private property anyway.
But I
So-
can, that's what I do.
So can I
Sometimes
come in-
you have to
so
go
can I
up.
come in your house and film you?
No, but if the gate is open, you can come in, and then if
can
I
come in
ask
your
you,
garden
if
and-
I ask you to leave, you would have to.
Yeah.
But nobody asked me to leave.
The analogy of someone wandering into a private garden doesn't neatly apply here. A garden attached to a home is clearly defined private space with obvious boundaries and an expectation of exclusivity. An open, publicly accessible forecourt or station frontage is a different context entirely. Accessibility matters when assessing implied permission and public presence. Even if someone did stray onto land they weren't intended to occupy, trespass is generally a civil matter. It doesn't automatically trigger arrest powers or justify detention unless additional elements are present. Police involvement typically arises where there is a breach of the peace or a specific statutory offense, not mere presence on disputed ground. The suggestion that filming could jeopardize future cases is also difficult to sustain when the recording began only after officers initiated contact. A camera documenting an interaction that officers themselves chose to start doesn't inherently interfere with proceedings. What makes the situation more puzzling is that Absolute Audits had already indicated he would leave if simply requested. That option would have resolved the matter quickly and proportionately. Instead, detention was maintained while officers simultaneously expressed frustration about him being there. When a straightforward resolution is available but bypassed in favor of escalation, it raises legitimate questions about necessity and proportionality.
I tried being nice. Okay,
Yeah, I'm being nice.
No, you're just coming back with arguments. The chap then that was talking about coming on site and murdering police officers,
Yeah.
shooting them with homemade machine guns.
Yeah, but I've not done that.
No, but if he'd come a
And
week
he's in
earlier-
prison. Yeah, but you can't violate people's rights because of what might happen. For example, you're violating my rights at the moment,
By how?
where you've stopped
talking to you?
stopped my free movement.
On private property.
Yeah, I said I'm going to go to reception, and you guys have said no, you're staying here.
There isn't a reception here.
There is a reception here.
There isn't.
There is. It says on the sign.
That's the training school reception for police officers. That's not for public.
No, when I came in the gate,
Yeah.
there's a reception.
That's not here though.
Well, I don't know where it is. I can't find it.
Again, it's not for members of the public, it's for people visiting the site who have a legitimate reason for being here.
Well, I
who have
do.
signed in, who are going to sign in, who
Yeah.
have been invited onto the
I
site.
would have signed in, but I
And none
can't
of the
find it.
above apply to yourself.
Yeah, but I can't find the reception.
You haven't been invited onto site. You haven't requested access to the site prior to entering it.
Yeah, but I've used a public road, footpath to gain access.
To go through a private entrance.
Yeah, but the gate's open, so it's
a private
open.
entrance and there's clear signs saying private property.
Wow.
And that's why the signs are there, to stop people like yourself coming onto the site claiming it was free access.
Well, it is.
Our
Yeah,
barriers are closed.
No, the gate's open.
To go through a closed barrier,
No,
which
but
is
it's open.
designed as a deterrent to stop you coming in.
Like,
because
what,
it is
this?
private
It
property.
goes like that.
Yes, that is a closed barrier.
Yeah, but it's for cars.
The justification keeps circling back to the idea that being on police property somehow makes detention lawful by default. But location alone doesn't generate powers that override a person's freedom of movement. Any restriction still has to be grounded in a specific legal authority and supported by objective facts. A general sense that something might happen isn't the same as pointing to conduct that actually meets a statutory threshold. The reliance on the vehicle barrier as proof of restriction is equally weak. A barrier designed to control car access doesn't automatically transform an area into a no-go zone for pedestrians, particularly if there are no signs, lock gates, or physical measures preventing people from walking in. If members of the public can enter freely on foot, it undermines the claim that the space is clearly restricted. Boundaries in law aren't implied by assumption. They have to be defined and communicated.
But isn't trespass that you can, if something is publicly accessible, which you're saying this
It is
isn't,
not publicly accessible. This area is not public.
but under the definition of the law, this is because the gate's open.
No, the gate isn't open because there's a physical barrier stopping you coming through. You chose to ignore that barrier.
It's not stopping me.
Do you know who you are yet, sir?
No.
No, I would argue that under Article 8 of the Human Rights Act, I don't have to give you any details.
Okay, in that case...
Is that okay?
It's perfectly fine. You can have those rights.
You can search me if that's what you're going to do.
No. All I'm going to do at the moment, sir, is I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of aggravated trespass, okay?
Why is it
Under
aggravated?
Section 69 of the Criminal Justice Act and the Public Order Act, okay? The reason for that is you're obstructing lawful activity
Well-
and you're intimidating and causing distress.
Would you like me to
people.
tell you one more thing before you make that decision?
No, I'm going to make that decision.
I'm an auditor on YouTube.
No, that's okay. What I'm
Hang
going
on,
to do...
hang on, let me just turn it
You
off.
don't have to
that's
say
fine, you
anything.
What stands out in the closing moments is the speed of the escalation once Absolute Audits declines to identify himself. Refusing to provide personal details in the absence of a specific statutory requirement is not inherently unlawful. That principle aligns closely with privacy protections reflected in the Human Rights Act. Yet that refusal quickly becomes the springboard for a cascade of serious allegations that at various stages. The justification shifts dramatically. Detention under terrorism powers, then arrest for aggravated trespass, public order, and even possession of a Class A drug. The aggravated trespass allegation appears difficult to reconcile with what's visible. that offense generally requires intentional obstruction, disruption, or intimidation of lawful activity. In the footage described, the only active engagement seems to be between absolute audits and the officers themselves. The public order claim encounters a similar hurdle. The statutory threshold typically requires threatening or abusive conduct likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress. Firmly asserting one's rights or declining to answer questions does not automatically meet that bar. When multiple serious powers are introduced in rapid succession, particularly after a lawful refusal to identify, it raises questions about whether the escalation is evidence-led or reaction-driven.